Welcome. We've got Ghislaine Maxwell, top story. Really, people are saying that perhaps the Biden information coming out is distracting from what's really going on still with the Ghislaine Maxwell case. We can't forget about that. She's been making motions to try to have certain information suppressed. Those motions were denied. Yesterday, there was a great big dump on the internet of a lot of documents. Somebody caught this on page 135 if you read far enough into it, because there's lots, I think 400 plus pages that were released yesterday. So here's part of the testimony, and it does drop the name of Clinton in there as having hung out with Jeffrey. So it sets up context where otherwise names have been redacted, so somebody basically forgot to black it out. Anyway, I'll drop the link to where you can download the information as well. I've noticed a trend with Ghislaine that she pretty much is very good at evading answering questions directly. I will also drop a link to a guy on YouTube that reads the transcripts, and last night I think it was a 2 or 3 hour YouTube where he's reading back and forth the questions of the lawyer to her, and she's just something else. I'll drop that link in the comments below. So this case is really important because it will bring down a lot of names as well. And while the Biden case might expose things on a political world level and with other countries and politicians and finance, the way that the Maxwell case is going to affect the world is it will shed light eventually on the Luciferian tendencies, satanic cult tendencies, and the involvement with famous people in regard to that. I thought I would spend some time today sharing with you some of the people that I like to follow and that I trust on the internet. Let's start with Corey Goode. You've probably heard of David Wilcock, and he is the guy that is well known for being on Ancient Aliens, famous author, has his own channels, and David on the right is very good at vetting insiders and finding whistleblowers and bringing forth information that's really hidden and groundbreaking. As well, David has a policy that he has to vet insiders and whistleblowers with at least three to five other corroborating insiders that he knows. So he has a very strong and rigid vetting process before he brings anybody onto any of his shows or talks to them. So Corey Goode, I started watching back in about 2015, and he's actually a part of the secret space program. A lot of people don't realize that we have one of those. You've probably heard President Trump say something about having a space force, and in fact, one already exists, but that's for another episode. In any event, Corey has been involved in this, and he still is. That makes him a really good insider because he's briefed by several different branches of the military that not even the mainstream media or, most people even know about this. So I've really enjoyed his information since he is an insider, and that type of intel and information is a lot more valuable and closer to truth than a lot of what we're seeing on the internet right now. Lots of YouTube channels, lots of people who are speculating, having opinions, and just expanding off of old information. And, there's even disinformation, so at least we don't have to worry about that with him. So here we see one of his tweets from earlier this month, and he was talking about this since the 7th, about making sure you have some provisions. So I've already done this, and my point being that other people didn't start saying something about this time frame until just a couple days ago. He can be found on Twitter and Facebook, and he has a YouTube channel as well. Sometimes it's Sphere Being Alliance. So he's a good one. I like him. So we've been hearing and seeing a lot of things that might suggest some very famous people from the past who we have assumed are dead are perhaps not dead. We haven't seen definitive proof yet, but there are more than just a couple different people and rumors and pictures circulating around the internet. Another Facebook friend of mine started posting some tweets from a guy named Patrick Bouvier. And as it turns out, he claims to be the once thought stillborn brother of JFK Jr. He has presented a lot of very interesting information on Twitter, and I highly suggest you go read that. When he talks about his family, he is quite often listing out numerology and dates and numbers. And he is suggesting pretty much that his family is not only related to Abraham Lincoln, his bloodline can be traced back to Jesus Christ. And the tribe is called Druzi, is the name of the tribe over in the Middle East. So he's in Libya, and I'm just going to let you do the discovery on that. This is a side-by-side photo of JFK Jr. and Patrick. If anything, 2020 has been a year that a lot of our beliefs and a lot of information is challenging everybody on many different fronts in many different countries, and it's important more now than ever to just simply keep an open mind. Not everything is truth. This is a photo of his grandfather, and I believe this is a movie, so you might be able to look it up and learn some history on that. Patrick has mentioned a William Wallace Lincoln that he is related to, and also there is a movie out on History Channel that discusses the research findings of blood of Jesus and does discuss the Druzi tribe. So it's been interesting to learn of their Middle Eastern roots, and when you think about it, in the times of Jesus, those times do go back to the Middle East. And it's very interesting to note that there are a lot of wars over there, or have been, a lot of political deals, peace deals, and overall activity. So I think soon we will be learning the connection there, and it might be worthy of investigating. So I will leave you with just a few beautiful pictures of our beloved JFK Jr. Everybody keep your head up, do your thing, be the change you want to see in the world, keep an open mind, smile, and know that everything's going to work out exactly as it should. Everyone have a beautiful evening. I will leave you with this meme and post that I saw on Twitter this afternoon, and we'll just see what happens. Everyone have a great evening. Hopefully tomorrow I will have another update.